That's right. It's episode 16 of USFAPN.
USFAPN.
Let's go.
Let's go.
That's right. It's me, Potty, here alongside Stacks. Our guest co-host is Rye. Continues to recalibrate after his honeymoon, but he'll be joining us next week. We're really looking forward to that, and wanted to big USFAPN shout out to Stacks for not only coming on once but coming on twice. Really appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Hey, don't thank me. Just have me on again. That's how you can thank me, my man. I love being on here. I love talking about the USFA. There's no better place to do it. Let's go ahead and get into it when you're ready.
Yeah, there we go. So let's roll our first game coming in hot. Stacks, where are we right now and what's about to happen?
So it's pretty near and dear to my heart, mostly because it's my player doing it. But it's going to be a punt return to start out the game. And my boy Preston Dotson is going to find a real big lane there to get St. Louis into really good field position to start this game off. And it's funny looking back at this game because it honestly looked like St. Louis was coming for the upset, but got to give credit where credit is due. New York, they showed out today in this one.
They did, and I know that it came pretty close to scoring here with Lee taking in that reception for St. Louis. What kind of went down from here?
Yeah, on that particular play, looks like St. Louis tried to go for it on fourth down. They had the man, but Kevin Lee could not hang on. And New York, they're going to see if they can strike early and often. As you can see, they're already in the red zone after that turnover on downs. And I believe this is going to be a look towards the homie Cam MELO. Yes, it is. Getting his first touchdown of the day. And I'll let you know right now, that won't be the last time you hear from him.
No, it won't. And speaking of players that we'll be seeing again and again, check this one out here. St. Louis with the ball. They're on their own 30-yard line. And snap is about to go back. Nice little bomb over there to Lee with the reception and the legs getting all the way up to the 7 or 8 yard line. Incredible athleticism on that play.
Very nicely done for sure. Kevin Lee's always good for those long receptions, and he made do to get St. Louis into the red zone again. And why not give it to number 26, MCNAMERSON, for the big boy bucket, and that gives St. Louis the tie ball game right there at that point of the game.
Tied it up, right? But let's see. New York was quick to respond after McNamerson got the touchdown. The other player that you talked about coming back again, we got MELO with a touchdown.
Most stuff. And if you didn't notice that play, he was actually trying to look for the screen to the right of him. He turned his way around, avoided the coverage, and just threw it on a dime to the homie Cam MELO's row sweet.
Yes. And we have a nice McNamerson touchdown right here. Incredible run, right? What was that, a run? Was that a pass? How'd that go down in your head?
Yeah, that was definitely a run play. I don't know if it'll show on that beginning portion. No, it won't. But he broke the first tackle at the line of scrimmage. And then once he found the hole, he just used that big money speed to push forward. New York, they do have a problem with stopping the run, and St. Louis looked like they had a little bit of a good chance to slow him down there, but not to be. Naming McNamerson for number 3 on the game, and he's doing a little cha-cha right there. That's what he liked to do when he scored. And yeah, at this point it looked like it was about to go for the worst for New York. They had a good chance to tie the ball game up throughout most of the game, but St. Louis is St. Louis, and you'll see on this play right here.
Oh, right there to Lee, right?
Yes, indeed, to Lee, and he avoided getting tackled at the end. And once again, you see here, there's currently up 2 scores after that touchdown. It's going to be a crazy ride here, but New York's still going to fight. You'll see in a little bit.
Absolutely. New York's still fighting, but St. Louis coming back to my main man, Lee, who had 2 receptions earlier, potentially a touchdown. This one is definitely a touchdown to Lee. I thought, nice perseverance to be able to get that through.
And that was one of the big issues there. Not just stopping the run, but stopping the pass on the outside. If you have someone fast and you could get past Neil Mason in one of those corners, it's almost a surefire touchdown. And looks like Montaigne, she says, I want to get my touchdown too. Just run over a man. And she's the GOAT for a reason. She's one of the best to ever do it here in this league, and she still does it no matter if we're in Axis or Madden. She's just a mad woman, if you will.
Absolutely running through, and I love the stretch at the end to like really get the ball. New York, still saying, we're not out. This one going to DRAKOS, number 87 with the touchdown.
Yeah, Mr. Draco's at the tight end spot, and he's about as sure-handed as you could come. He has a speed as well. You didn't see on one of the earlier plays, but he set up one of the earlier touchdowns there for New York. And as you can see, they really don't care what you set up with.
Oh,
He's the name McNameson's just going to take it down the
let's
sideline.
see that
Great
one move
blocking.
again. Oh my God.
Like, I don't know what to say, what hasn't already been said about Name McNamerson. If he's not the MVP this season, it's probably rigged, and I'll let you know right now.
You
He's a
think
beast.
Well, there we go. So finally following it up again, New York still working towards it, down a number of points in about 2 minutes left, but still putting points on the board. This one going
Mm-hmm.
to MELO. And that is basically how we turned off that game and put on the recap. What do you think kind of like went down with this game overall?
Overall, I mean, I think it was just more talent mismatch, and it favored the winning team here. You see right there, 48 points. St. Louis is big on getting points throughout the whole season. New York, even though this will be the last game of their regular season, they showed out a really good fight. Cletus Castle, the quarterback, had actually four touchdowns being thrown in this one, which is spectacular. And he did give New York a little bit more to think about when it comes to this draft coming up. Do they replace Cletus Castle with one of the new quarterbacks, or do you think they will be able to hold on to him, see if he can get better? That's the main question that New York has to face.
Well, that's the question they'll have to face. But ultimately, I think it was a great game to watch. High scoring for sure. 80 points. That doesn't always happen. So pretty cool to see. Let's talk about our second game coming up. We've got New York, or excuse me, Pittsburgh at Dallas. And what's kind of going down in between these two teams at this moment?
Okay, so if you don't know, these two teams are in the opposite conferences, but they rolled so where both of these two teams have to play each other twice. This is going to be the last time where this is going this way since we're going to be adding two more teams. We'll see them a little bit later on in this next week coming up, but these two teams had a dogfight the last time these two teams played. And Dallas, they ended up pulling it out of the hat to get the victory last week. You see right here, Blake Grant coming out with the touchdown, his first of his career. He waited all
Mm.
season long for it, and he finally got into the end zone. Happy for him. And Pittsburgh, for the most part, was leading the way on this game. It was kind of weird seeing how everything went down. As you know, it went a little bit longer than expected, but
Hmm.
Pittsburgh, they put out a really good fight to see if they could get their fourth win of the season.
Nice. And that was Hawk with the. I like that move at the end. But the
Yeah, that's Sumo.
yeah. But that was a good one. And but Dallas kind of took on a bigger and bigger role in the game as it progressed. This one going to Ulf himself for a
Hmm.
touchdown. Um, but one of the things I liked about this game was that it was both offensive and defensive. Pittsburgh with the ball right here. Who do you think's about to come into this play?
I think I got an idea. It's going to be the homie Andre Grimm putting it down too easy. One of the top tier defensive ends the game has to offer in the USFA, and he showed it there, not giving up. Carr was trying to get away, but he ain't quick enough, and that was an easy sack right there for 78.
78, and I like that. And then we had Dallas with the ball and toss is made, and the big boy Philbin, comes in with the interception and the touchdown. Pick six, what a player to make it. I really was cheering for him there.
Oh, most definitely. You gotta love the big boy scores. And Jerry Philbin, he's been working all season long. He's a rookie, just came into the league. This is what's going to end up being his final game this season, but he surely closed out in a big way. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does next year.
Oh, yeah. And what about this one? This was to Jerry Riggs, right? Huge
Yes.
toss right there.
Just like I said last week, that Mile High University, the Mile High University connection. And as you know, you already seen all the clips. That's not going to be the last time these two players connect.
Yeah, absolutely. Because then Dallas taking the ball at the 3 yard line, getting it to Ulf again. This took the score to a measurable point, right? I, 21-14.
Yes,
Pending the
notice the
extra point.
time on that clip too, because it's less than 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and they
Yes.
were down at one point, 21-7. Pittsburgh gets the ball back, and everything looks like status quo at this point. They were finding plenty of places to throw the football. They threw it deep here to Blake Grant, who was open, had a hell of a game this week, and like everything seemed like it was going in Pittsburgh's favor, and it even comes out to where they're going to score again, putting them up 2 touchdowns with less than two. Well, at this point, it's going to be less than 3 minutes. Like you never think that a team will be able to actually go up and be able to tie it in this
Mm-hmm.
type of situation, but here comes Dallas coming up soon, and I think you have an idea what's going to happen on this play.
Yeah, absolutely. Dallas coming in, and you know that it's going to be deep bomb going to none other than Jerry Riggs. It looks like almost as if that play had already occurred. What an exceptional feat. I think they paired up well. Great chemistry there. But ultimately, Dallas needing to put points on the board. So they lined up with the no huddle, a minute and 30 seconds left. Got it to Romero with the touchdown. And that led us into kind of this stage of the game, a minute left. How did Dallas kind of come to the 10-yard line, Stacks?
So Pittsburgh had the ball after the touchdown was scored by Dallas, and Dallas came up with a huge stop on third down to give them the ball back. And then you see the play right there. That was the immediate play after the punt. And you see right there, they got a little bit more on top of it as well. And that just set Dallas up for success to potentially tie the ball game up, which they did. I believe it was another rushing touchdown. About it, can't quite remember, but as you can see right there, Jerry Philbin, he's not giving up on the game. It's already in overtime at this point, and this is where the defense on both sides shine.
Oh, shoot. I must have screwed up the clips order. I'm sorry, man.
It's all
But
good.
we're back in the fourth quarter, and there's a minute left, and they do get that touchdown
Yep.
with
Yeah, that was a touchdown that I was talking
yeah.
about earlier. I thought it was a run for a second, but yeah, that was definitely another pass there to Jerry to get them in. Might as well throw it to him. He's the reason why you're even down there, and he's got
Yeah.
a mismatch. He's been working all game long.
Now we're back to overtime, and there's 3 minutes left. It looks like Pittsburgh's going to take a punt right here, but
But they
they,
don't.
yeah. Who was that? The quarterback on the field, number
That was
15.
not. That was actually the backup tight end, I forgot his name, Jubzeta or something like that. But definitely a fake that I did not expect when everything was going down, and it actually had potential, but good ups on Dallas to get the stop, and then Pittsburgh, they ended up stopping them after they didn't get it on fourth down, and guess who? Andre KRIMM with the big bucket again, and that forced fourth down, which gave the ball back to Dallas. And as you can see, the overtime's running out. That's because we had to go to overtime too.
Damn.
And here we are for the second overtime. I believe Dallas has the football here. And once again, everything looked pretty decent. They got the pass off, and that was pretty much the straw that broke the camel's back right there. Dallas, they got in field goal range. They immediately kicked the field goal, and the rest is history from there.
Got in field goal range, kicked the field goal. I think a two overtime game is like pretty impressive. And we got, Jerry Riggs there with 10 catches, 270 receiving yards, and a touchdown. What a game by Dallas. And also, shout out to Pittsburgh for putting up a hell of a fight. I thought, but to be able to come back from them scoring on you with what, less than 5 minutes in the fourth,
Yes.
and they
Yeah, it was
came.
definitely a Herculean feat right there
Yeah.
overall. And thanks to them, they now have a chance to make it to the playoffs because all they had to do was win. And then the team that was coming up in the next game has to lose. And they had a really good shot because Anchorage is now going to play the best team in the league as per record, a 12-2 record, the Huntington Beach Voyagers. And everything was looking on the up and up for Dallas after this game. It seemed like they really had a realistic chance to make it.
Absolutely. And that's the way that one went down. Let's talk about our third game right here, bringing us straight into Huntington Beach. We've got
Mhm.
the Snow Devils taking them down. What's going down with these two teams?
Oh man, this is kind of a weird game. I'm not even going to lie to you. Most of the stuff that you'd kind of expected happened, as you see right there. Gronky Kong getting the sack on the young quarterback, but for the most part, Anchorage put Huntington Beach in check
Hmm.
defensively. Huntington Beach, they looked a little stale in a lot of areas. They had a lot of chances to get points, but they couldn't move the ball down the field as consistent early on. But they do find a way to get the touchdown here to Jeff Brown, their number one tight end, doing his thug thizzle. And that kind of got the ball rolling to start, but it got really, really slow for Huntington Beach after that score. You'll see in a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, even with Huntington Beach, with the ball, they started to encounter a lot of, obstructions and just clever playmaking to enable a good defensive squad. Look at this one coming out, almost intercepted by Dash Slay. Good incompletion, good, defensive play right there.
Yeah, that was one reason why I gave you that clip, just to show you that Anchorage wasn't playing around this game. They were really fighting, but their issues came on offense. This is a really good play right here for sure that helped Anchorage get close to field goal range, inside field goal range, but ultimately they couldn't get it into the end zone, which was most of the story right there. And the Huntington Beach, they kind of struggled, but they still was able to find points. But Anchorage on the other side, they got stopped.
Yeah, stop. They did. This one with Anchorage, with the ball right in the red zone, and they're running for it. And big sack by Noble. T
Mhm.
Noble. What's the T stand for?
Thomas.
Thomas Noble, like the laureate. Pretty
It sounds
cool.
like it, yes.
Fuck
But
this.
as you can see, like Huntington Beach, even if they couldn't score the touchdowns or the consistent touchdowns like they preferred to, they were able to find a way to get to the rookie quarterback, Dane Jones, who, in my opinion, is going to be the future of the USFA after a majority of the new quarterbacks or newer some of the older quarterbacks take off. He's going to
Mm.
be up there. I have a very sneaky opinion on that. And on this play here, that was a doink off the left side, like stuff that I'm telling you about with Anchorage. They had the chances, but they kind of messed up a lot.
Yeah, that one was unfortunate to watch. That one was pretty close, like within range, but I don't
Hmm.
know, but it happens. This one, from the quarterback perception, comes with an interception from Prince from Anchorage. So they, certainly being a thorn, you know, in the soul here.
Yeah, just like I was saying, Huntington Beach had their struggles this game for sure. And it kind of showed on this particular play. Well, the last particular play. Here, they're going to try the long bomb of a field goal, should be around like 51 yards, I
Hell
believe.
yeah.
And he just knocked it through. That was
Nice.
definitely a big, big move there for Huntington Beach, who was struggling to find some points, but the defense was keeping them in the game. So I guess they weren't too worried.
That was DeLong champs with the, field goal, pretty legit, over 50, anywhere close to 50 is respectable. Um,
Hmm.
but popping it in We've got Brown with a touchdown for Huntington Beach. Nice play there, which
Mm-hmm.
led us into Anchorage with the ball. And what kind of went down on this one?
This one right here, I believe, is going to be a pretty good bucket here for the homies in Huntington Beach. It's going to be another sack. And as you see, this game in particular is pretty crazy because I think this was the first time this season where every defensive lineman on one team got at least one sack on
Yeah,
the quarterback. So normally it's kind of spread around, or maybe one player gets like two or more, but one player got three, another player got two, and then the other defensive players got one. As you see, there goes the last sack for the last player on
yeah.
Huntington Beach's D line. So Terrence Goldsberry, Thomas Noble, Gronky Kong, and Phenom Chisholm, they were all harassing
Phenom
Dane
Chisholm.
Jones.
Absolutely. Yeah, there was Chisholm in the last play and Goldsberry in that play. Well called out. Yeah, there was a robust sackage. This one coming in for Anchorage, they're down 3-20, 2 minutes left, but they're still putting up, with McKinley taking home the touchdown. And that's ultimately how the game ended,
If you could go
10-20.
back to that play right
Yeah,
there, I want people to know how good this young man Dane Jones is. Though rewind that,
watch the
watch
whole
where
play.
that ball was placed. That was probably one of the more perfect passes that only the best of the best can make. It was right over the head of number 50, I believe,
Yeah,
and you
let's
can
see
see on the replay portion,
the
like he
slow
threw like
mo.
right over his hand. I was like, wow, here it is right here.
Oh my God.
That is how good Dane Jones is. And unfortunate for him, he won't be making the playoffs this season, but like that is definitely encouraging to see. See the pause right there where the ball had to be. And that's what Dane Jones could do for Anchorage. If they could build around them in the draft free agency, they got something cooking for sure.
Absolutely, they do. Um, Speaking of that, let's see how the game kind of concluded as we alluded to earlier. Uh, any thoughts on the future of these two teams?
Yes, Huntington Beach. So they got a little bit of a break. They'll be waiting till Saturday coming to see who they'll face between Dallas and Arizona. Anchorage, they're on the outside looking in now that they lost this particular game here. A great fight all season long. A game shy of 500, which is very encouraging for a young team only in their second season. They have a lot of promise here, especially with that quarterback. If they could build around him, put some defensive pieces around in free agency, Anchorage could be one of those sneaky teams that can make the playoffs next year. You could book it here today.
Book it here today, or subscribe and get it on demand when you want it. When it comes to our next game, we had the Arizona Rattlers versus the Tacoma Eruption.
For sure. And this game was pretty fun. As you can see, Tacoma's putting out all the stops. They're going with wide receiver runs, and as you can see right there, James Peach knows what to do with the ball in his hands, and he put out a 60-yard just beauty right there from the wide receiver spot, and I believe that is the longest run by a wide receiver this season.
Absolutely. And Peach wasn't done there. Tacoma with the ball, 40-yard line. We're in the second period or second quarter. And we got Peach again with the burst, just squirting out the juice and taking it down to the end zone. And I love the snow and leaving their footprints in there because nobody's been there before. I mean, that's sick. I like that.
Hey, James Peach, he makes me want to head to the kitchen real quick, get some peach soda because I'm feeling thirsty. And he's been such a great acquisition here for this Tacoma team. It showed out today. It unfortunately didn't show out all season long in regards to their record, but he's a beast of a wide receiver. He'll be there for years to come for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And that there, Chrome with the reception for Arizona put them in range to be able to take down the touchdown. This one going to Tillman and bringing the game within 3 points.
Yes, most definitely. And clarity on that last touchdown there. Money Mills did have two beautiful passes at Reginald Frome that got him down and got that touchdown that we seen earlier. And then this touchdown now. I had a little bit of clarity. I had to rewatch it like 2 or 3 times, but he did get both feet in. He just dragged the toes before he made that big step. So good deal by the referees having better eyes than me. That's why I have glasses. So it is what it is.
It looks like that was a hard angle. There was like a player in the middle of it. But, they took down the touchdown. And this one coming to Arizona with the ball. They're up 3. But then look what happens. They get sacked. There's a fumble. I don't know if it's this. It looks to be the same player that sacked him and Brown the third fumble recovery. What a display of like raw intensity. How do you do that? That's crazy.
That's what you call the defensive hat trick, my good people. The sack, the forced fumble, the fumble recovery, and then the touchdown on the end. But actually, that's a quadfecta, if you want to call it like that. That's 4 right there. So really good job. Not by a user player, but hey, it's wearing red in this one, so Tacoma ain't complaining.
And that one, Tillman with a big reception.
Oh, that was disrespectful too. That teabag action right there. You know what I'm saying? Like when I seen that, I was like, man, come on, man. You don't got to be.
He kind of pushed his head down at the end too.
So bad. It's so bad. But hey, when you make big plays, I guess you could do what you want.
Exactly. Yeah. And this one, we're talking about a big play. 13-17. There's 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Tacoma with the ball. Guess who's coming through? None other than Baxter with the sack for Arizona.
And that's what definitely kept Arizona in this ball game here. If they gave up a touchdown, it would have been hard for me to believe that they would have won this game. But getting Arizona, they tried to get the football. They could not get it down like they really wanted to. And then looks like Tacoma's going to have their chance to essentially close the deal. All they really need is a first down. And I believe they are going to get it right here with this carry. And then that's pretty much the end of it right there for sure.
That must be Peach number 5. What a sick photo
Yes,
right there.
Is. Yeah,
Dude,
I'm pretty good with my photos, man. I like taking pictures with the highlights. So it was fun.
Like like the photo where, Ali like knocked down, or I don't know, maybe the guy, I'm talking about like you've got one guy like in the end zone, totally in his own moment, and then behind him crawling on their knee. I feel like you really captured this, and like, hats off to you.
Yeah, that's part of the story that you see is like Arizona really came up short in this game, as you could tell just by the 13 points alone. But like there was many opportunities that they could have had to potentially win this game. Just fell short, just a couple turnovers and a couple bad plays away. I think this could have got to an overtime possibly if they were able to find their offense. But hey, the better team won in this instance. Great job for Tacoma to get their final win of the season. That moves them to 6-8, and I'm expecting them to do big things. Arizona on the other side, you got a playoff game coming up soon, so got to shrug this one off. And if you play like this against Dallas, I don't know if Arizona will be able to make it, because Dallas is the second hottest team currently in the league right now with a 4-game win streak, and they're balling right now.
Balling right now, absolutely. So Arizona comes up short on the eruption. And in our final game of the evening, we've got none other than the Typhoon versus the Royals here in Charlotte.
Yes, sir. Tampa Bay. When I seen this first play right here, I thought it was going to turn out pretty bad here for Charlotte. But Darren Eliason with another bucket, he's going to take it after that broken tackle. There's not much that Charlotte could have done at that point. And Tampa Bay takes the early lead here.
Big lead there. And, it wasn't without Charlotte working to respond. We've got a deep bomb here coming down. Oh, no. Thought the video was lagging for a little bit, but it looks like it's all corrected. Boone with a nice run. I don't know, was that 31 yards?
Yes, that was a huge play. And I don't know if you were there for the chat, but there was a lot of chatter about number 1, Doc Boone, not getting any touches. And he definitely deserved more. But the pass game, for the most part, in Charlotte was right on the money. So he was kind of just fitting into the role. But I'm sure he's looking for more targets next season, and especially coming to the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. And that target going to Coco for the touchdown, Charlotte tying it up. It looks like they must have missed their extra point, and the Typhoon took down a 3-pointer. But the ultimately it was a Typhoon with the ball. They hit the opportunity, and then big sack by Shane Knox for
Huge.
Charlotte.
Yeah, that was a huge play right there. Trying to keep the team at bay is the Charlotte defense. And if you could get to West, you'll have a real good chance of winning the ball game. We'll see if they could do it in the playoffs since they'll both be meeting up again, but this time in Florida. But I'm not Dallas. Charlotte did a really, really good job trying to force some pressure on him. And you see right
Oh,
there, Arn Jakobsen, just a Greek god of a man. And he
oh,
just like laid him
oh.
out, legs flying everywhere. And I'm pretty sure he broke at least 3 ribs as
Oh my
well.
God.
So, yeah, that was a big stop on third down for sure.
That was a big hit, one of the biggest I've seen, man. So then, Charlotte with the ball, they're down 13-6. They need to, put some points on the board and turn the keys to the ignition in the Accord, and they did it with a nice touchdown there. This one going to Vic Dotson, bringing it in even closer, 16-13 Charlotte. And what happened with Charlotte right here? They're on the 20-yard line.
So this play right here, Charlotte's trying to get the job done. They're going to fake it, and he's just going to launch it perfect
Oh my God.
off of the play action and finds his man, number 14, the Rapid Raccoon himself, Kai Coco. Big boy bucket for sure. Charlotte, they're going to push towards getting that tie ball game with that. They couldn't get the touchdown, so they'll settle for 3. And here comes Tampa looking to get something going here.
Yeah, Tampa all tied up, gets the ball. And this one going to no one because Dak Prescott, driving the incompletion. Good defensive play to prevent the touchdown. But it looks like it wasn't. Oh, maybe it was. What did they not have the ball? They couldn't convert?
Yeah, that was on fourth down, that
Oh,
play
okay.
for Tampa. But you see right there, Doc Boone showing the league why you better start giving me some touches. I was talking
Yeah.
smack a little bit on the commentary around this time. I was like, I better stop playing with number 1. He could get you buckets. And you see right there, running over people, hurdling people,
Yeah.
juking people.
Look
He
at
showed it
this.
all in one play.
There's like one thing where he kind of like glides over these people. Yeah, like right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That was sick. Um, Putting them up. But then in our second to last clip of the night, we've got none other than Charlotte, all tied up third quarter, giving the pass off to Webb, who then takes it in for the touchdown. Spider Webb, with a nice running touchdown. He's a wide receiver, right?
No, he's the second halfback behind
Ah,
Doc Boone. And you see
okay.
right there, they go with the double 1-2 punch. They lean more towards Doc, obviously. And you see right there, when you leave Spiderweb in the open, there's going to be some good things happening to your offense.
Yes. That's what's going to happen. And then, the Typhoon needing to register back onto things, gets one off to Eliason, who stretches his arm, miraculously over to, win it out. The Royals walking away with the 23-26. Can you walk us through, in the last play, it wasn't there. They had a field goal that won it?
Yes, yes. So it was tied 23-23 at this point. And right after that touchdown that you just seen, a great effort there by Eliason again, I should say. But Charlotte, they pretty much walked them down. Great pass after great pass. They got a couple to Vic Dotson to get them down the field a little bit more. And all they needed was one good kick. And right with the last, let's say, around like 30, 40 seconds or so, Jack Molyneux lined it up perfect. And Tampa, they couldn't drive back and get the field goal back. They got around midfield, but got stopped short. So that was pretty much the end of that one. And as I said earlier, these two teams will meet again pretty soon. I'd say around like Friday. They'll be back into each other's face, but this time it'll be in Tampa, who's looking to get their first, actually, who will have their first home playoff game in their history, which is really dope.
Very dope. And that kind of leads us into where we stand with the, excuse me, playoff race. As you can see with the wild card, Stacks, why don't you take this? This is your domain, man.
Most definitely. So it's pretty simple. Starting from the top, going to the bottom here, you got the Western in the red. You have the Eastern in the blue. You're going to start out with Dallas at Arizona. That'll be the first matchup there. And then we'll have Charlotte and Tampa. I should say this early. So Dallas and Arizona will be happening on Thursday. So make sure you watch out for that game at 8 p.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time. Then we got Charlotte and Tampa on Friday on 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we'll have the doubleheader on Saturday. Whoever wins between Dallas and Arizona will face Huntington Beach. And then the winner of Charlotte and Tampa will face St. Louis. And those games will be back-to-back. You'll love to see it. And then at that point, we'll have the United Bowl. Whoever wins between the last two games, they'll face up for the last game of the season. That'll be Sunday at 8 p.m. EST. Don't miss it. It's going to be fun. We got the exclamation point USFA giveaway going on as well. And I'll make sure Caboose is good with it, but I'd love to do double what you could get. Whatever you get on the giveaway, you get 2 times. So don't miss out.
Don't miss out. I mean, that sounds like a hell of a opportunity. Can you explain this giveaway a little bit more?
Yeah, so it's pretty much like we was talking about the other day. I love giving back to the people that actually show love to the Twitch channels and everything like that. So we have like a little spin the wheel type deal with a whole bunch of random stuff, including like customization stuff for your player, and one of the more important things, actual TPE, so you can upgrade your player, right? So spin the wheel sometime around like the third quarter or beginning of the third quarter. And then we use the move bot, see what happens. They do the drawing, and whoever wins, they get the prize. And then, that helps get the engagement up going on. And we get upwards to around like 5 to 15 different people do the giveaway. We'd like to see a lot more next season. So we're going to be giving out a lot more stuff as well, including stuff for the website, like the bios and everything like that. So it's going to be nice.
Absolutely. Well, if you're a viewer of this show, there's no reason that you should miss out on this giveaway. I think it's a lucrative opportunity, so you should take advantage of it. But Stacks, it's been really awesome having you onto the show. As our viewers kind of close out this week, what should they look forward to in the upcoming one?
So got the playoffs, obviously. That's going to be big deal. It's all 1 week from Thursday to Sunday. So we got action nonstop. That's what we do in the USFA. And then, of course, we got everything coming up in the off season. We got free agency coming. We got the draft coming. Articles, graphics, all the good stuff is coming. We got to see what's happening from our ECFL people. Like, there's so much stuff going on. I can't say it on this podcast. I already know we've been on for a while, but just know that we're going to be working for something special as well. And we also have all of our, what's what I'm looking for, our state of addresses as well, so we can answer all of your questions that you may have. And yeah, just be around. You'll have a lot to work with here in the USFA. We got a lot coming for you. Also, don't forget, I forgot to add this, but we do have the 2 new teams being revealed in the wildcard games. That'll be on Thursday and Friday. One team is coming on during halftime that will reveal the field, previews of the field, the jerseys, the logo, all the good stuff, who's taking over the teams. We're going to be doing both of them, one on Thursday and one on Friday. So make sure you watch out for that too.
Damn, got to definitely watch out for that. Sounds like an exciting event. A lot coming for you. Well, it was great hopping on episode 16 of USFAPN. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right.